There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Oh, what's up and welcome into episode number, God, someone help me. Episode
154?
154 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince. Joined with you as always by Matt Gann, Mark Hall, Ryan Tyson, no Patrick Kirschberger today. Maybe he'll join us later. Today is Thursday, December 19th. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, that's where you can find us. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. I already said it, but say it again. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you. As always, gentlemen, how we doing? We're here on a Wednesday evening as we chat now. Oklahoma has gained another transfer portal commit in a Southern Illinois Saluki wide receiver. I believe that's 4 now for Oklahoma. A punter, a quarterback, or no, sorry, not a quarterback. Sorry. A offensive lineman and 2 wide receivers. So that's where we're at as we record right now. Yeah, as we record right now. And no John Mateer news as of now.
He was on campus, though.
Was he in Norman today? Have we confirmed that?
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, that was confirmed.
All right,
but do I believe these people? I don't know.
So I know coming into the day, the feeling was like to get him to Norman and not let him leave.
Build a
wall.
Build a wall.
Are you Matt Gann? Or are you Trump?
Yeah, sounds like it. But I don't know if he's still there or what's going on. We're taking a risk recording this right now. It's currently 6:00 p.m. on a Wednesday evening as we record this. If things change, we'll keep you updated throughout the show. But boys, what are our opening thoughts on the madness that is the transfer portal and the I don't know, does it feel like lack of movement for the Sooners in terms of the commitments?
I mean, I think objectively speaking, yes, because like we've seen 2 wide receivers today. Everyone's been talking about today being like the big day that like the floodgates open. I literally think that was a tweet earlier today that I saw, like floodgates are about to open. We haven't seen anything. Like it's still like crickets out there. Like we got a wide receiver from like 2 FCS wide receivers, I believe, in today. Which not like hating on FCS receivers. It's just like I would have thought more would have happened today. And, we still have 6 hours left in the day, so things could happen. Like you said, Mason, we're taking a risk. But I think this entire transfer portal strategy has been odd. And I'm hoping that what they see at the end of the line is worth all of this. Because I know the fans have been in a really bad place over the past couple of weeks. So I'm hopeful, but I'm just like, I wouldn't really say I'm like super optimistic. I just don't really know what to feel because you're being told one thing, you're being told that all these great things are coming, but you're not actually seeing it. And so it's kind of frustrating, I think, this whole strategy that they have.
Go ahead, Mark, jump in.
Oh, okay. I was waiting on Matt, see what kind of insights
he wasn't
Matt
gonna.
had. Yeah, I guess my thing is sort of what Ryan's saying, how we've been, all the reporting has been led in one direction. And today specifically, the 18th Wednesday was built up as this day of watch it, like watch the calendar. We got all these guys in town. This is going to be the time you'll see the floodgates open. And I don't know. Maybe. The thing that sort of illustrates it all to me is the John Mateer recruitment, where he tells his team he's leaving. He enters the transfer portal without a no contact tag, which we're told initially is a clerical error, but then somehow people are in the running for John Mateer. It's not just us and no one else, right?
Mhm.
So, uh, you know, a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke around this day, and you're looking around and wondering where the fire might be. While these two receivers, 6'3", 6'2", we're
Yeah.
building an army of tall dudes out there. I
Yep.
like that direction. I'd love for it to end up including two dudes with the name Branch, but we can get to that
Oh
later.
God.
You know, you were hoping to pull down a quarterback today, and to this point, we have not.
Yeah, Matt, you got Matt's talking, but the four commits that OU has as of right now is punter Jacob Ulrich, offensive lineman Luke Bakalenko from Stanford, wide receiver Giovanni Gibson from Arkansas Pine Bluff, wide receiver Keontez Lewis from Southern Illinois. So that's where we're at right now. The thing that has me, I'm going to get on a soapbox. Number one,
We love a soapbox.
Box.
Dean Blevins is a moron.
That was the
Dean
funniest
Blevins
tweet
is
in the
an
entire world.
absolute moron. Like how the dude continues to cut a paycheck baffles me because he does nothing besides go out there and just spew nonsense. I've seen him in work. He does nothing. Doesn't hold a camera.
Shit up.
Yeah, he's bad. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at his tweet saying Arbuckle is going to go get the Washington State head coach job. Number two, this is what reporting has become. And as like a quasi journalist, I mean, I have a journalism degree from the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah, you do.
I
There
don't,
it is.
I don't like where this has moved to. Yeah. Where this has moved to, where like it's not even hiding to be clickbait. Like these guys, I feel like are reporting on hope as opposed to reporting on facts. And they're trying to get you to click their article and subscribe and do all of that stuff. And it's gross to me because it's not what the game is supposed to be. Like, I don't know. It's just it's a changing landscape. So I'm gonna sound like an old man shouting at the clouds. So that's just me.
Look, I don't have a journalism degree
No.
from a wonderful school like Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I would think you're doing is like talking to the transfers, talking to the people around them, trying to verify information and see if like this is actually happening today or if it's contingent on, what this day goes like, how these guys all vibe together, what the numbers look like together. Because now you do look like you've been selling a bill of false goods to a fan base that was hoping for a little bit more. Now, again, what if they come out 5 minutes after we're finished recording and John Mateer's in the door and the branches are coming too, right? Like,
Sure.
It all can flip on a dime. We were expecting this time last week for John Mateer to play in his bowl game on December 27th and then enter the portal. So, it kind of gets pushed up, but it's just going to take some time still, I think.
Yeah. I also don't have a journalism degree from the University of Oklahoma.
Okay.
We're going through the
Me
thing,
too.
right? But I feel like one thing I do know is that good reporting hinges on your sources, right? And good reporters and good journalists have ironclad sources. And I know this is like a different style of journalism. I know things move quickly, but I do not understand. I mean, I think I do understand it comes down to like clickbait material and driving audience and driving clicks to websites and things along those lines. But if you're not like if you're not as sure as you possibly can be based on people that you trust, like why are you putting things out into like the ether to just let them like sit there and then are not able to handle criticism when something doesn't work out in the way that you are like this is literally your job. Like it's what you are paid to do. And I'm not targeting anybody specifically. It's more just like in general. This is like where we're moving to. I feel like it's worse now than it has been in years. And it just feels just so like gross. It feels gross.
The part that bothers me most is that they can just be like, "Oh, watch out. watch out, watch for this day. Like Mark was saying, like, watch for this day. And then nothing happens. And they go, oh, shucks. Well, things change. Like,
Yeah.
no, then don't report that this is a day to watch for.
It's literally
Then-
throwing things at a wall,
Then don't
And, like-
report that.
hoping it sticks.
Yeah, it's just it's nonsense. Like I get it if there's a bunch of dudes going to be in town, like report that. Report that.
Yeah.
But don't be like, "Oh, hey, this is the date to watch of all these guys to probably commit and all this yada yada." Like no, don't report that if that's not what you're buying. I think it's weird how it's shifted. Because it's literally just to get you to be like, oh, look for this day. It's a big day. Click the link to read the rest of the story. Like it's just, it's not reporting. And then you click the link and it's like, oh yeah, all these guys are in town. Let's see what happens. It's weird, man. I don't get it. And we're probably all venting because we're mad that nobody's committed and there's no John
Bang.
Mateer.
Bang.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I mean, we've been told they're going to invest, and we haven't seen the big investments. That's
Sure.
Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the root of all of this. We're more upset because so far this year or in this transfer season, it's been very lackluster. No big splashes. We're waiting for the one big splash that's going to make everything all better, which is John Mateer. And if he doesn't come into the door and sign with Oklahoma, we're going to be in real trouble. It doesn't matter who we get in the offensive line or who's going to be punting or playing skill positions, because that's the one answer that we need is him coming through the door. And getting a couple guys from FCS and the offensive lineman from Stanford, yeah, that's great. But you have to have a quarterback to play in the SEC. We saw what happened this year when we tried to play Michael Hawkins or Jackson Arnold, and it didn't work out. So until we get John Mateer news, it's really going to be a pretty disappointing season for OU. And to comment on some of the transfers, I mean, the guy from Kennesaw State is probably the number one punter in the portal. Well, I guess that's what our strategy is. We're just going to be punting the football all year long. So boomer sooner for us.
I'll take a good punter.
I will take a
I'll
good
take a
punter
good
every
punter.
day.
Better to have a good punter than to
Sure,
not.
I agree. Nothing on him. That's his job. But hey, the FCS receivers both have more catches and yards than the entire corpse of receivers that we had this year. So I'll take any skill talent that we have. We're pretty much just building the New York skyline with having this 6+ foot receivers. I'll take it. But until we hear more about John Mateer, we got nothing.
There's so many things
I'm
in
gonna-
that statement, Gan. That
I'm
I
gonna
just-
go.
That-
I'm gonna go ahead
that
and say
joke
it.
from something else.
I'm
Didn't we?
gonna
New
go ahead
York
and say it.
skyline. I mean, come on.
Eugene
What were you
Brooks.
saying, Mason?
Eugene Brooks commits to UCLA, and then you have Josh Bates commit to SMU,
Mhm.
and we're pulling in dudes who are FCS guys. I'm telling you, and one of those, the Southern Illinois kid, has been to 4 different schools.
Yeah.
This is his 4th stop.
All of the guys that have left Oklahoma that are names we know
Yeah,
have landed at schools.
Bakari
right?
Vickers to Colorado
Yeah.
today, too.
yeah, correct.
Nick Anderson to LSU.
Yeah,
So Sharp to LSU.
What are we doing?
yeah. And look, these guys coming in may be something, right? They're better than what we had. I'm not here to tell you that they're worse. Hard to be worse than what was already like on the field this past season. But you're telling me I lose Nick Anderson and I replace him with a journeyman wide receiver who's made this is his 4th stop?
Jonas Saluki?
Yeah. I just it makes me nervous, man, and it should make everybody nervous. And again, I think if you add John Mateer, it's kind of like I feel like it would be. Remember when Caleb Williams committed, and like that was the wave of like everybody being like, "Oh, Caleb Williams going to OU, like let me jump in that class. Let me hitch my wagon to Caleb Williams." Like not saying that John Mateer is Caleb Williams, but like to that effect, right? You use a guy like that as a catapult, a springboard to help you land other commits, like Mark was talking about, the wide receiver brothers that everyone is so very interested in.
Yeah.
Zachariah and Zion Branch, the USC guys. A couple of star receivers in their own right, both entering the portal. And OU listed for at least Zachariah.
I mean, if you're not, well, they announced that they're going to play together. They were like, we're going to the
Yeah,
same
Did they?
school.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like if you're a wide receiver or a tight end, like why would you transfer to a school that you don't know who the quarterback's going to be?
You wouldn't.
Like what's the point?
Yep.
And so like because you don't know who's going to be throwing to you, you have no idea like the relationship that might be. I mean, I know NIL's involved now, but we have to close this John Mateer chapter, whatever it is. If he's coming, amazing. Like, let's get it done.
Yeah.
If he's not coming, let's move on. And I hope it's not the second option, but it's something that like we have to get that announcement out so that we can then pull in other guys because I mean people are transferring like crazy right now. I mean there's going to be nobody left. And I think we need big names and we need something to make this fan base and probably donors as well like feel more comfortable about where this team is going on the offensive side of the ball next year. And so far they haven't done anything. So I guess we'll see in the next couple days.
And I'll be honest, at the beginning of all of this, if you had told me, like, okay, you kind of go get a handful of splash signings and not much else as far as like real considerable depth along the way, I wouldn't have really loved that. But now, if you told me we went out and did get John Mateer and then did sign the Branches, and those were kind of the splashes, and then you have an offense that's built around Jaden Gibson at 6'5", this other dude at sorry, I should start using their names. Javonte Gibson at 6'3", Keontez Lewis at 6'2", Deion Burks, obviously, he's like 5'9", but he's like a freaking squirrel running around a tree. You know, he's so fast, he's so quick when he's doing, when he's feeling right, when he is right. I would sort of take that because now we're at a place where that seems pretty freaking good now, doesn't it? And
well, we need both though. We need the splashy and the depth because our entire wide receiver room just left.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. Well, okay, but again, here would be your top five, right? Is Jaden Gibson, Deion Burks, these two guys, Jacob Jordan. Jacob Jordan as wide receiver 5 is not that bad, right?
No.
You cut your rotation down a little bit. Hey guys, you're going to be running a lot, and you just run your offense that way.
Yeah.
And you find a tight end too, right? What are we doing there, man?
Yeah, I've no idea. Like
I mean,
Joe John Finley has
we
called
must
it in.
trust Devon Mitchell now for some reason.
Well,
that we didn't trust him before.
I still think Joe John leaves of his own accord after the game and or after the bowl game, and we see a new tight end coach, and then you might see a transfer guy come through, someone he has relationships with.
Yeah. I also on the Mateer front. Any show of hands? Anybody feel good about getting in a money battle with the University of Miami? Not me. Not if it comes down to a dollar amount. I don't feel good about that at all.
Yeah, he's the top player in the portal. He's going to be able to negotiate his price.
I mean, we're banking on his relationship with Arbuckle. Like that's
and the coordinator
and the quarterback's coach that came in.
Yeah, I just.
A lot of our so in my world, I also didn't get a degree in journalism.
There you go, 3 for 3.
There we go.
Very good.
One of the things that we call is diversification, and right now we're putting all of our eggs in one basket. If we don't land Mateer, we are in deep trouble if he ends up going somewhere else.
So let me
tell you that right now.
Let me push back on you there, Matt.
Yes.
So
please.
All the eggs are in the Mateer basket. What other basket would you like them to go in? Who else in the portal was sexy to you that you think we needed to go get? Because I think all the eggs are in that basket because that's the only dude who's worth a piss who's going to make you a better football team.
Oh, I agree. I think in this particular situation, knowing Jack Narl's gone, we know what we've got out of Michael Hawkins still needs a year or two to develop. We're going to need a guy like John Mateer to come in. So I'm just hoping all of this pays off, because if it doesn't, we're screwed. So I'm okay putting all of our eggs in one back. John Mateer is worth doing that. He's worth the risk. But you also have to know the consequences if he goes to Miami or some other suitor.
Well, and also to your credit, OU has no one to blame for the situation that they're in besides themselves. They have no one else to blame. They have done this to themselves. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from, though. I do understand.
It's just like, what's their game plan? Because if John Mateer doesn't work out, what are we going to do? And who else are we going to be able to pick up, knowing that OU's in a really precarious situation, knowing how hard the schedule is? I mean, look at the gauntlet of the schedule.
We wouldn't pick up anybody. Yeah. I don't think. We would pick up like
I feel like they'd have to pick up
a backup to.
Yeah,
I think you go find someone. I actually pulled out the 24/7 Sports listing of who's still out there. Right, the Cal quarterback Fernando Mendoza is listed as their number 3 guy, 6'5", 225. I don't know how likely that one is, but what I like is Malik Murphy still being out there. He was visiting Oregon State today. You bring him in and just, hey, it's a competition, right? You want to be a quarterback? Come be a quarterback here, and give him that little revenge game kind of thing that Casey Thompson didn't really get the chance to have.
Keaton Slovis to Colorado sounds a lot of fun, by the way. The quarterback from Liberty going to Colorado sounds fun.
But Slovis he was at like BYU for a while. Caden Salter.
Oh God, yeah, wow. Samsonite, I was way off.
Did you just pull a Matt Gann?
Dude, I did. That's crazy. Wow.
Aaron Noland, the Ohio State quarterback who was a 5-star last year, he entered the portal. We've got some guys out there still that, if you do miss out on Malachi Nelson, former Oklahoma commit.
Oh God.
If you miss out on John Mateer, you have to move quickly. You've got to pivot to one of these other guys. Yeah. If nothing else, Michael Hawkins said it the best. He needs competition.
Yeah.
They need depth there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Any other portal things that we haven't touched on that we should?
I've been refreshing Twitter to see if there's any update. And there's not.
So, I have as well.
But I guess we'll find out. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out soon.
No running backs who really get snaps have left. That's maybe surprising to me.
That is surprising to me as well.
Defense is pretty held together too.
Defense is held together well. Also, Jaron Connect's Twitter's
funny.
It's art right
Chance
now.
Sanders hitting the portal. That kind of sucks, but he hasn't hit the field much either. So it's like, that's the game.
Yeah,
that's the game.
With the depth and
numbers
that room, it's I mean, I think that was something that we probably should have expected.
We touched on this last show, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it. But man, dude, it sucks seeing all these dudes during bowl availability, like press availability, like talking to reporters, and them just straight up asking them, like, are you going to be here next year? And they're like, I don't know. Like, that sucks, dude. That's not fun. I don't enjoy that.
Dominic Williams was answering questions that way. One day this week.
Yeah.
And his could be the NFL, in which case, hey, good luck, go do your thing.
Sure, yeah.
Portaling sucks. That would suck.
That would suck a lot.
Our Mason Thomas answered that way too, didn't he? Or he was like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I think he's a draft dude as well. I think he's draft.
It would be for draft, I would think, but
the draft dudes don't bother me. The
transfer
dudes bother me. So I don't know. It's a weird time. It's not ideal. Dude, but the portal's got to get reined in and sound like a broken record. I don't know how they're going to do it. Dude, these teams are preparing for a playoff game and they are having to recruit in the portal now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, the timing needs at least change.
They need to push it. They need to push it back.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. Like, it's got to be like after the national championship. Yeah. It's got to be like a February thing. There's like
school has already started.
Yeah, shoot, you're right.
I mean, all of this is built around the semester. And
which is hysterical, by the way. Which is hysterical because none of it matters. None of the school things. You already pay them. The school thing doesn't matter now. So what? Who are we kidding? Who are we joking? Sorry,
I mean,
Mark,
maybe at least get through like no, I guess like the first round of playoffs, second round of playoffs are all like pretty late in December. Yeah, no.
Mark's just
they've built
not
a
really
real
a work. There's not
they've
a
built a
workaround
real
for that.
unsolvable problem here by you know what? Here's what it is. By intentionally every step of the way fighting against resolution instead of trying to stop the upcoming train. Like they just tried to stop any kind of thing from happening instead of working proactively to build a system that would rein some of this in, pay the players, but also build in some stability for these teams so you can build rosters that fans are going to care about. Fans don't want to give dollars to these programs for 1 year over 1 year rentals. That's just it's not feasible. It's not a program that's going to endear you to fan bases, and it's not going to be good for development for these players. If they're just hitting the portal, leaving, hitting the portal, leaving, hitting the that's what they're incentivized to do. Is go to the portal every year and let the market dictate their value.
If we are, this is turning into a different conversation, but if we are acting like this organization, the NCAA, the transfer portal, NIL, all of that is slowly, not saying it's there, slowly morphing into kind of what the NFL is. Like, can we not just like start contracts, like player contracts? Like,
I don't see a way that you don't get to that. At least a 2-year commitment. Like I don't know how you don't end up there.
Judges. Because the only way you do get there is lawsuits. And if a judge rules a way that gets you a different direction, then that's the tough. It's all bad.
Yeah, it's all
These
terrible.
guys are
so dumb that we got to this point. It's just like the entire thing is open and they can't rein it back in now.
It's just funny to me, like the NBA, bitching about the ratings and like that's the big talking point in the NBA right now. That's where I think college football is going to go. Because like Mark said, I think people are going to wake up one day and be like, who the hell's on my team and why do I care? Like that's what's going to happen. Because that's already what's happening, I feel like, with some of us.
Yeah.
And we're not the dudes who, I mean, we're the target demographic. We're the ones who spend the money to go to the games. We're going to the damn bowl game. We're going to the damn Armed Forces Bowl. And we're going to go.
And we're going to go and see nobody. There's going to be nobody playing.
Nobody. Hey, Michael Hawkins
against a triple option team.
And we have like only running backs active. So we should run the triple option also.
Agreed.
We saw last week they're susceptible.
It's true. Okay. Anything else on the portal before we kind of move on to our next thing?
It's all done. I've gone sour, and I think mostly it's because Gan's right. I'm upset that they haven't done a better job in the portal so far.
Hayes Fawcett, John Mateer is committed to Oklahoma.
Oh my God!
Look, real time drop.
We're not.
No one's gonna listen
because
to this pod at all.
I still think the same way. I do.
What's up, and welcome into episode number 154 of the
No, now your ultimate now your outlook is a lot better because Ben Arbuckle has a guy who has run his offense before.
Right.
You can put him in the pilot seat and let him handle all of it. Give him the conductor sticks and let him run the show. This is as good an outcome as you could possibly have hoped for at the quarterback position now. Really good news. Get him immediately on the practice field with Jaden Gibson and with Deion Burks. Let them start running routes together and get him on the phone with some of these receivers that are still in the portal because you need that leadership immediately to hit the ground running here over the winter and the spring and moving forward.
So John Mateer is a sophomore, right?
He's got 3 years left.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, the year things don't matter. The eligibility matters to me.
Breaking news alert. I'll make a noise.
Oh,
No, no.
go ahead.
Wow.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow. Here's my
No.
thing. Thank goodness. My goodness. Now we really need to see what this staff is going to do to build around him because it's still not good enough. I'm just going to be honest with you. We still have to rebuild the offensive line. We still need more depth at wide receiver. And we still need good depth at running back. So we're looking at skill positions and someone to protect. John Mintier, again, I like the guy from Stanford. He's only given up 5 sacks and 1,000 snaps. That's pretty darn good. I'll take it. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. But we need more of that. They need to now build on this momentum and say, hey, guys, we have our dude. He's in the backfield. Come play for us. We're going to play in the best conference in the entire nation, and we need you to come play for us. They have all the ammunition now. There's no excuses. We need more splashes besides just QB1. But thankful to see it. This is exactly what Sooner fans have been waiting for.
Totally agree. Let's go get some receivers. Let's go get Deuce Robinson out of USC along with
Let's
the
go get some
branches.
SEC
That's fun.
Dude,
talent.
let's
the branches,
raid
the branches would be
Lincoln's pantry.
huge.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take everything Lincoln has. Let's take it.
It would be
Also-
the Shakespearean ending
It
for
would.
him.
This is
It would.
unrelated, but I just read that it's BB's birthday today. So
It is.
happy birthday, BB.
Happy
He's
birthday.
the 4th oldest SEC head coach.
Really?
Really?
48th oldest in college football.
Okay.
He's in great
Interesting.
shape. He looks great.
Handsome man. What a guy.
He's in great shape.
And
My God, can he recruit a transfer quarterback?
dude.
Well, I think the
Amazing.
hire was helpful in that
Oh,
also.
yeah.
So you know,
I think so too.
maybe this was a little bit part of the package.
To Brent's credit,
What we
weeks
needed.
ago, it's what we said had to happen before
What we needed.
Arbuckle was even hired. We were like, that's the blueprint. Like, that's what you have to do. Whether you like it or not, that's what you got to do. And he did it. Credit to him. Credit to him.
I really hate that this is what it is now. But you look at a team like Indiana, they bring in Kurt Signetti. He brings in his quarterback. You're just importing a successful system from somewhere a little bit smaller.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Mhm.
That's what we're doing, you know.
That's college
you
football,
bring
baby.
in John Mateer, he plays at least a year. So I want to correct myself, 2 years of eligibility, not 3. Plays at least a year, maybe goes to the NFL, but probably not. I mean, I don't know. And then Michael Hawkins takes over. I mean, that's a good runway as long as it goes right this year.
Yeah.
That's the
As
question.
long as it goes right.
Is it going to go right?
That's a good question. Matt, you're making a motion. What's going on? We circling? Or
We circling,
Reeling
baby,
us
whenever
in.
we ready.
Let's do it.
Whenever we ready.
okay, let's go.
Let's stay with Oklahoma sports. Some really good updates, especially for men and women's basketball. So let me start with women's basketball. After losing the Balls Dog Classic to Duke in overtime, they have now wins against number 22 Louisville, Alabama State, Oral Roberts, and they just competed in the Jumpman Invitational against Michigan 2 nights ago. Number 20 Michigan 2 nights ago, beating them 72-62. 4 girls in double figures. Peyton and Skylar Vaughn tied at 12 apiece. Turned over Michigan 26 times for 21 points and had 18 offensive rebounds, which was the biggest differentiator in the game. They will play Omaha, New Mexico State in the next few weeks before they start SEC play. OU's men's basketball, I actually did not know this, but back-to-back seasons with 10 straight wins.
We know how last season
Porter
ended,
and
though.
the boys. So after winning the Battle for Atlantis, where they played some
Went
pretty
great.
good teams, they now have wins against Georgia Tech, who had some former OU players, Javon McCollum, and somebody else transferred there last offseason. Georgia Tech, Alcorn State, and then they won Bedlam 80-65 in Oklahoma City, Paycom Arena. They were up 43-26 at half. Sam Goodwin had 20 points, 14 rebounds, and Jemiah Fears, the freshman point guard, continues to show why he was a top recruit in his class, 17 points, 5 assists. They are also competing in the Jumpman Invitational against 24 Michigan, and that game will already be posted, so know the results of that. Then they go on to play Central Arkansas and Prairie View before they start a gauntlet of SEC play. If you guys haven't paid attention, SEC basketball is off to a historic pace. They are absolutely dominating any other conferences at this point. So it is going to be quite a stretch for OU's men's basketball. And can Moser and the boys continue to play well as they've done so far this year? OU or men's and women's gym will start in January. OU's men's wrestling has already competed a couple times. They're 3-1, but they recently lost to number 3 Oklahoma State 35-3. Oklahoma State obviously known for the prowess of wrestling. That continues. They will take on in a upcoming tournament SC or Southeastern Community College, CSU Bakersfield, and Chattanooga this weekend. So hopefully they can bounce back. And then OU women's softball, they won't start until February, but they'll have 10 games in their schedule against last season's Women's College World Series qualifiers. Obviously transferring to the SEC, much quality or higher quality opponents, but they will open up their title defense on February 6th at SDSU or San Diego State University with a couple of those California teams as well. So looking forward to the Sooners softball team defending their fourth straight
crazy
title, not 4 all time, 4 straight in a row in this upcoming February. So it should be a tall task for the OU ladies as well. So continue to get some good updates, but that is Circle the Wagams.
Perfect. One Oklahoma, the NIL Collective posted a John Mateer video, which just so overtly it's just
they
weird.
gotta do it.
I know. No, I agree they
do.
do. I completely agree they do. It's just, once again, it's weird we're here. It's just weird we're here.
I just
they're posting something before the official school account does. That's just, I don't know. It's just different, man. And I get it. You're not wrong, Mark. You have to do it. I completely agree. You have to. And Mateer's wearing a One Oklahoma polo. Amazing.
Looks sharp.
Who tweeted it? I think it was it was Josh Pate who tweeted this, but he said, guys, all you have to do is donate more to the collective so you have a chance at buying season tickets and conference title tickets and 3 rounds of CFP tickets and national championship tickets. And I'm just like, that's right.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
How funding all of this, and it's like, what? Man. Like, this is the disconnect that I think, Mason, that all of this is going to bring. Like, we all have lives, we all have bills. Like, this is not something that.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, I know some people can afford it, but not the average man, I would say.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, what seats in the stadium? Ryan, I thought we were talking about this. What seats in the stadium require you to make a gift to the fund, not the NIL fund.
It's not the NIL fund. Yeah, but it's a donation.
It's a donation.
It's a Sooner Club.
Yeah, it's a Sooner Club.
Yeah, you have to make a certain X amount. I want to say most tickets in the stadium require at least something.
A lot of them do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but if you're the club level or the suite level, you're giving a lot of money every year, and it doesn't go toward your tickets. It's just the required donation that gets you. It's
like a cover charge.
The order to select your spots and away game tickets and things along those lines. And I mean, I guess it's a tax write-off, but still, I mean, you got to have a lot of money, and that's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not in that tax bracket, so
yeah, true.
It really sucks actually. That money should just all go to One Oklahoma at this point. The game has changed a little bit. It's a different world, and Sooner Club can find funding elsewhere. It needs to provide value that isn't, riding the coattails of the football program.
Yeah,
I will say that my parents are people who do donations like that, and they will not donate to the NIL fund because my dad is.
That's why they have to force it. That's why you got to switch this up.
Yeah. He's going to be no, I'm not doing that. And he will give up his tickets, I guarantee you. So.
Yeah, and it's his money and it's his product. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not here to blame him for that at all.
But I just wonder how many
yeah.
other people like I mean, a lot of people who can afford those tickets are older generation. This newer stuff, we've talked about it, how grinding it can be. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting moving forward.
Let's get some wide receivers, man. Let's move
do
them.
it.
Got two today.
I know.
No,
Let's
we need
just
more.
keep embarrassment
We
of
need more.
riches, man. In this day and age, it doesn't matter because half of them are going
We
to be
need
gone
more.
next year anyway. You know what I mean? So just
I do agree.
yeah. So it's just, but the two we got, I do want to talk about them for a second, just because two tall, aggressive receivers. I like that. 6'2", 6'3", all about that.
Sign me up.
All about it. Do more of that. Do more of that. You need big bodies. Big bodies. You need actual dudes.
I
I'm
think this
happy.
also very possibly opens you up to the, recruiting the running back, Waylon Parker, or the tackle whose name escapes
Oh
me
my
from Washington
gosh.
State,
Yeah, Flea,
who
yeah.
have both hit the
Oh my
portal.
gosh. Yeah, that'd be
you know,
huge.
Both could be contributors day one if they come in. So an avenue to watch for adding talent on the offense. I mean, it's not receiver like you're saying, but it's something pretty good.
Did you guys see John Mateer's tweet that he tweeted out 12 minutes ago that he took a picture with horns down in 2020
Yep.
on campus? Love that.
Cool things.
During COVID, should have been inside.
It's what took so long. Awesome. It's what took so long to get the announcement. Was he was searching for that picture?
Yeah, he was searching
That
for
was,
that photo.
that was
He
funny
said-
again. That was a
Said,
good
no,
one.
Mom, where's the picture? Look in your memories. Yeah, crazy. But exciting news. Okay, want to wrap up with PGP MVP?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Go ahead, Matt. Who's your MVP, man?
I'll give it to Ryan. Actually, took it. I was going to give mine to BV. Happy birthday to the coach that we all want to be, and he got a very big present today. I hope they can continue to capitalize on this momentum. We still need big bodies up front and some more skilled position players. So happy birthday to BV. I hope he's continuing to have a break on his birthday, but get back on that grind tomorrow.
Perfect. Ryan, who's your MVP?
I'm kind of sounding like a broken record now, but
something about the Vikings. It's got to be.
I'm gonna give it to the Vikings again,
Yeah.
just in
Oh,
general.
wow. Look at that.
12-2. They control their destiny for the number one seed in the NFC if they went
Good
out.
place to be.
Good place to be. Very tough last 3 games. I'm not sure about Seattle yet. It depends on Gino's knee. But the last 2 games, especially Packers at home and then at Detroit. The NFC North is just a gauntlet. So I think you have probably out of the top 7 teams, I think 3 of them are from the NFC North. So it's gonna be a fun last 3 weeks. And I like when we go to week 18 and we're not like sitting people. I like when it's gonna get like super exciting and it's like, okay, it could come down to this Vikings Detroit game. Who's gonna get the number 1 seed? And I think that's exciting. So still just completely overshot expectations. Everyone had them at the bottom of the league this year. I didn't think they were going to be any good as a rebuild year. And they have just done something amazing and incredible. And I think KOC should get Coach of the Year. So
I kind of agree. Mark, who's your MVP?
Yeah, LVP for me is going to be the Atlanta Falcons organization, just for the process, right, that got us here. You go and sign Kirk Cousins for $1 trillion and like half of it's guaranteed. It's all stupid. And then you go in and draft Michael Penix, and now you move to Michael Penix for week, 16? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
And you're counting on him to push you across the finish line to finish ahead of the Buccaneers, who you have squandered a 2-game lead on. And that's a really crappy position to put your rookie quarterback in, regardless of circumstance, but especially when he wasn't supposed to play right now. And so I'm not really a fan of any of it. I'm really rooting for Michael Penix Jr. it'd be very exciting if he's able to come in and lead the team to victory these last 3 weeks, secure a playoff spot, and at least look fun in the playoffs. I think that would be huge. But man, everything that got us here really sucks. And I'm seeing stuff on Falcons Twitter where it's like, well, was it the signing or was it the drafting that was wrong? And it's like, dog, both. It can be both.
Yeah.
It can be all of it. The plan was bad. The plan that got us here was bad. So LVP, my Atlanta Falcons.
LVP Miami Dolphins for basically everything that Mark said. Fire the GM. Fire. I don't want to fire Mike McDaniel yet. I'm not there. I am very anti the Dolphins GM. He needs to go really, really bad. And see if a new GM can come in and roster build and pay any sort of attention to the offensive line that Chris Grier just refused to do for 8+ years now. Would like to see what that looks like. And look, Mike McDaniel's not, he should get his fair share of blame as well. He's not doing very good things right now, but I think he's earned enough leash with me with the way that the offense has looked in the past and at times this year. So yeah, I don't know. Also, Tua had arguably the worst game of his career on Sunday, and yeah, that sucks. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. I'm not having fun.
What do you think of Tyreek's tweet?
I thought it was a Teddy Bridgewater thing, wants to go coach like Teddy Bridgewater, coach a high school team, win a state championship, and then come back to the NFL. Something just Tyreek being a troll. That's all he does. Wish he'd catch passes that he gets two hands on, but whatever, it's fine.
Hey,
real quick,
who among us?
Just to wrap up the pod, the first playoff games for this week, just go round horn. Who do you think is going to win? Penn State,
Four
SMU.
of them, right?
Penn State, SMU?
SMU, baby. Come on.
I got to go Penn State for my guy, Luke Ketchum.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Penn State. Mark?
I'm going Penn State. I want it to be SMU.
So
Clemson, no. We're just doing games. Clemson, Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, I hate to say it,
Sadly.
Texas. And then probably the most competitive one, I think, which I think the Clemson Texas game maybe Tennessee, Ohio State.
Ooh. I think Tennessee.
I'm going
Tennessee.
Ohio State. I think Tennessee is pretty fraudulent.
You didn't do Indiana, Notre Dame.
I think Ohio State's kind of fraudulent.
They play on Friday.
Mhm. Yeah, they play Friday.
They play
I didn't
tomorrow.
say that. Notre Dame, Indiana's super fraudulent. We saw.
I
What
say
happened
Notre
when they
Dame.
played Ohio State.
I think Notre Dame as well.
Great picks, boys.
I'm
I can't
smoking
wait.
Signetti's. Give me Indiana.
Love that.
I love it. I love it. We got.
Did
we
you
got
guys
some
see that
differences.
there's a quote going around today that some Texas people are worried that they're not selling enough tickets to the game?
They announced on Twitter that UT said they sold out the stadium,
Okay.
but that was what UT said. So they could pull that Nebraska thing and just
Sure.
they're donation tickets.
Who knows?
Just
It's
so
tough.
everyone knows,
It's around the holidays.
the On3 top 5 transfer portal players in their rankings are all receivers. So it's time to go get guys.
Time to go
It's
get him.
time to go do it. Yeah.
Time to go get him. Also,
Boomer.
go get this pod. What, Matt?
No, I said Boomer.
And that's going to do it. Episode 154 is in the books. Be sure to like, subscribe on the YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Find us, Program Guys with a Z. Also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. We will see you next week where we will be talking bowl game, baby. We will see you then. That's going to do it,
Another hot
Matt.
pair of bowls.
Matt, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby. John Mateer.